Welcome to the class of wireless communication. Subject code for the course is ELX DLO 6023. This course is of third year electronics engineering, semester 6, University of Mumbai. Today we will see introduction to wireless communication. This is lecture 1. Before we start with the course, let's have a look at vision and mission of electronics engineering. Vision, the word goes to be a place of academic excellence by imparting quality teaching in the field of electronics engineering, creating competent and skilled graduates. Well, mission statements are divided into three parts. First is to render quality teaching and provide the required resources needed to acquire cutting edge professional skills. Second mission statement, to encourage innovation through academic and industry exposure. Third mission statement, to foster ethical behavior, teamwork skills, and soft skills required for successful professional life. These are the program educational objectives and program specific outcomes of electronics engineering. Program educational objectives. First program educational objective, applying skills required to design and develop hardware and software solutions applicable in real life situations. Program educational objective 2, pursuing successful and satisfying careers in the profession of their choice or enterprise. Third program educational objective, pursuing higher studies in related fields, including management from recognized institutions. Program specific outcomes. The graduate of this program will be able to design and analyze hardware software systems for automation and signal processing applications. Then program specific outcome. Second, identify and apply domain specific tools for design of VLSI systems. Program specific outcome 3, develop cost effective electronics embedded products for societal use. Now let's have a look at syllabus of wireless communication. It consists of total 6 modules. Module 1 is concept of cellular communication. Textbook used a number T1 and T4. So T1 textbook is wireless communication by Rappaport, and this is Prentice Hall of India publication. While textbook 2, wireless communication and networking 3G and beyond by Shah Mishra. Textbook 3, IS-95 CDMA and CDMA 2000 cellular PCS system implementation by Vijay Garg. This is Elsewhere Incorporation. And textbook number 4, Mobile and Personal Communication System and Services by Raj Pandya. This is Prentice Hall of India Private Limited. So all modules are assigned the number of hours. Like module 1 assigned 8 hours and topics or concept of cellular communication. Module 2, mobile radio propagation. Number of hours allotted are 8. Module 3, multiple access techniques and spread spectrum modulation. Number of hours assigned are 8. Module 4, GSM, Global System for Mobile. Number of hours allocated are 12. Module 5, IS-95. This is a digital cellular system and number of hours allotted are 6. Module 6, which is evolution from 2G to 4G. Number of hours allotted are 6. As far as exam point of view is concerned, there are chances of asking problems on module 1, module 2 and module 4. So student need to prepare these modules thoroughly. While weightage in the final end semester examination for every module should be number of hours multiplied by 2. So that indicate total weightage of marks for the end semester examination question paper of wireless communication. Now let's see course outcomes of this wireless communication course. After taking this course, student will be able to explain fundamentals of cellular communication, which is the first course outcome. Second course outcome, apply fundamentals of cellular communication system to design wireless cellular system. Third course outcome, explain fundamentals of radio wave propagation, path loss, and effect of fading. Fourth course outcome, explain multiple access technologies and different spread spectrum techniques. Course outcome 5, describe knowledge of GSM mobile communication standard, its architecture, logical channel, switch coding, features and services. Course outcome number 6, explain IS-95 CDMA mobile communication standard, its architecture, channels, packets, frames, and evolution from 2G to 4G technologies. Well, about wireless communication, let's see the introduction to wireless communication. Communication system can be wired or wireless, and the medium used for communication can be guided or unguided. In wireless communication, the medium is a physical part like coaxial cables, twisted pair cables, and optical fiber links, etc., which guides the signal to propagate from one point to another. Such type of medium is called guided medium. On the other hand, wireless communication doesn't require any physical medium but propagates the signal through space. Since space only allows for signal transmission without any guidance, the medium used in wireless communication is called unguided medium. If there is no physical medium, then how does wireless communication transmit signals? Even though there are no cables used in wireless communication, the transmission and reception of signal is accomplished with antennas. Antennas are electrical devices that transform electrical signals to radio signals in the form of electromagnetic waves and vice versa. These electromagnetic waves propagates through space. Hence, both transmitter and receiver consist of an antenna. So now let's look at the features of wireless communication. Evolution. The evolution of wireless technology has brought many advancements with its effective features. The transmitted distance can be anywhere between a few meters, for example, television remote controls, and thousands of kilometers, for example, radio communication. Wireless communication can be used for cellular telephony, wireless access to the internet, wireless home networking, and so on. Other examples of applications of radio wireless technology includes GPS units, garage door openers, wireless computer mic, keyboards and handsets, headphones, radio receivers, satellite television, broadcast television, and cordless telephones. Many other applications we'll see at the end of this lecture. Next question will be why wireless communication? When wired communication can do most of the tasks that a wireless communication can, why do we need wireless communication? The primary and important benefit of wireless communication is mobility. Apart from mobility, wireless communication also offers flexibility and ease of use, which makes it increasingly popular day by day. Wireless communication, like mobile telephony, can be made anywhere and anytime via a considerably high throughput performance. Another important point is infrastructure. The setup and installation of infrastructure for wired communication system is an expensive and time consuming job. The infrastructure for wireless communication can be installed easily and low cost. In emergency situations and remote locations where the setup of wireless communication is difficult, wireless communication is viable option. Now let us say the wireless advantages. Wireless communication involved transfer of information without any physical connection between two or more points. Because of this absence of any physical infrastructure, wireless communication has certain advantages. This would often include collapsing distance or space. Wireless communication has several advantages. The most important ones are as given here. Very first is cost effectiveness. Wired communication entails the use of connection wires. In wireless networks, communication does not require elaborate physical infrastructure or maintenance practices, hence, cost is reduced. For example, any company providing wireless communication services does not incur a lot of cost, and as a result, it is able to charge cheaply with regard to its customer fees. The cost of installing wires, cables, and other infrastructure is eliminated in wireless communication and hence lowering the overall cost of the system compared to wired communication system. Installing wired network in building, digging up the earth to lay the cables and running those wires across the streets is extremely difficult, costly, and time consuming job. In historical buildings, drilling holes for cables is not a best idea as it destroy the integrity and importance of the building. Also, in other buildings with no dedicated lines for communication, wireless communication like Wi-Fi or wireless LAN is only option. Second advantage is mobility. As mentioned earlier, mobility is the main advantage of wireless communication system. It offers the freedom to move around while still connected to network. Next advantage is flexibility. Wireless communication enables people to communicate regardless of their location. It is not necessary to be in an office or some telephone booth in order to pass and receive messages. Minors in outbreak can rely on satellite phones to call their loved ones and does help improve their general welfare by keeping them in touch with the people who mean the most of them. Next advantage is convenience. Wireless communication devices like mobile phones are quite simple and therefore allow anyone to use them. Wherever they may be, there is no need to physically connect anything in order to receive or pass messages. For example, wireless communication services can also be seen in internet technologies such as Wi Fi, no network cables hampering movement. We can now connect with almost anyone, anywhere, anytime. Next advantage is speed. Improvements can also be seen in speed. The network connectivity or the accessibility were much improved in accuracy and speed. For example, a wireless remote can operate a system faster than wired one. The wireless control of a machine can easily stop its working if something goes wrong, whereas direct operation can't act so fast. Next advantage is accessibility. The wireless technology helps easy accessibility as the remote areas where ground lines can't be properly laid are being easily connected to the network. For example, in rural regions, only online education is now possible. Educators no longer need to travel to far areas to teach their lessons thanks to live streaming out on their educational modules. So next advantage is constant connectivity. Constant connectivity also ensure that people can respond to emergencies relatively quickly. For example, a wireless mobile can ensure you a constant connectivity though you move from place to place or while you travel, whereas wired line can't. Ease of installation. The setup and installation of wireless communication networks, equipments, and infrastructure is very easy as we need not worry about hassle of cables. Also, the time required to set up a wireless system like a Wi-Fi networks, for example, is very less when compared to setting up a full cable networks. Reliability. Since there are no cables and wires involved in wireless communication, there is no chance of communication failure due to damage of this cable, which may be caused by environmental conditions, cables flash, and natural diminutions of metallic conductors. Next advantage is disaster recovery. In case of accidents due to fire, floods, or other disasters, the loss of communication infrastructure in wireless communication system can be minimal. Now let's look at disadvantages of wireless communication. Even though wireless communication has number of advantages over wired communication, there are few disadvantages as well. The most concerning disadvantages are interference, security, and health. Okay. Let's look at interference. Wireless communication systems use open space as the medium of transmitting signal. As a result, there is huge chance that radio signal from one wireless communication system or network might interfere with other signals. The best example is Bluetooth and wired Wi-Fi, which we will also call as wireless LAN. Both these technologies use 2.4 GHz frequency for communication, and when both of these devices are active at the same time, there is chance of interference. Second disadvantage is security. One of the main concerns of wireless communication is security of the data. Since the signals are transmitted in open space, it is possible that an intruder can intercept the signals and copy sensitive information. Next disadvantage is health concern. Continuous exposure to any type of radiations can be hazardous. Even though the level of RF energy that can cause the damage are not accurately established, it is advised to avoid RF radiation to the maximum, which is the basic parameters for health concern. Now let's look at history of wireless communication. The images shown here gives a brief overview of evolution of wireless communication through the years. Some major inventions or discoveries in wireless communications are mentioned here. Let us take it from left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. In 1873, Maxwell proposed the idea of using electromagnetic waves to propagate the transmission of message signals, which is underlying concept behind wireless communication. Then Marconi invented the first wireless device, the wireless telegraph, in 1896 and was awarded the patent for his radio the same year. The very next year, the first wireless message was sent, which read, "Are you ready?" across a distance of 6 kilometers. This was the experiment performed in 1896. Then advancement in radio broadcasting took place, and in 1933 the first FM radio station was built in United States. In 1946, the first commercial telephone service was set up by AT&T and Bell in St. Louis, Missouri, USA. By AT&T, and the service was made available to private customers as well. In 1947, a tiny device that revolutionized the computing industry was invented, the transistor, which replaced the much bigger vacuum tubes, made possible the marriage of computers and communications and also brought compactness into the picture. In 1954, The first among a line of transistor radios were built which could fit in one pocket comfortably. During 1970s and 1980s, various companies such as Bell Industries, Motorola came up with their ideas of a commercial cellular phone for the masses available for the public, which also initiated the first generation of mobile telephony. In the 1990s, GSM came into picture, connecting many more people and brought about the second generation of mobile telephony, which we can call it as 2G. GSM stand for Global System for Mobile. Earlier, the name given was Groupie Special Mobile when it was invented. Then wireless fidelity, which we can call it as Wi-Fi, came into existence in the late 1990s. Soon after, in the year 2000, Bluetooth was invented along with the release of third generation mobile telephony. These two technologies revolutionized the way people shared messages, bringing more into the wireless world. In 2007, Apple released its first iPhone, the first actual smartphone, which led to an exponential increase in the number of smartphones in the market. In, in 2010, the fourth generation of mobile telephony rolled out, which provide facilities such as voice over LTE. So LTE stand here long-term evolution, and now we are on the age of using fifth generation mobile telephony systems. So beginning of fifth generation mobile telephony system is in the year 2020. Let's have a look at the basic elements of wireless communication system. A typical wireless communication system can be divided into three elements: the transmitter, the channel, and the receiver. For this image shown here is basically a block diagram of wireless communication system. The transmission path, which include a typical transmission path of a wireless communication system, consists of encoder, encryption, modulation, and multiplexing. The signal from the source is passed to Signals from the source is passed to source encoder, basically, which is the first block of this system, which converts the signal into a suitable form for applying signal processing techniques. The redundant information from signal is removed in this process in order to maximize the utilization of resources. The signal is then encrypted using encryption standard so that the signal and the information is secured and doesn't allow any unauthorized access. Channel encoding is a technique that is applied to the signal to reduce the impairment like noise, interference, etc. During this process, a small amount of redundancy is introduced to the signal so that it becomes robust against noise. Then the signal is modulated using a suitable modulation technique like PSK, FSK, and QPSK, etc., so that the signal can be easily transmitted using antenna. These modulation techniques we have seen in digital communication. The modulated signal is then multiplexed with other signals using different multiplexing technique like time division multiplexing, frequency division multiplexing to share the valuable bandwidth. The channel in wireless communication indicate the medium of transmission of signal. That is open source, open space. Wireless channel is unpredictable and also highly variable and random in nature. A channel may be subject to interference, distortion, noise, scattering, etc. And the result is that the received signal may be filled with errors. The reception path. The job of the receiver is to collect the signal from the channel and reproduce it as the source signal. The reception path of a wireless communication system comprises of demultiplexing, demodulation, channel decoding, decryption, and source decoding. From the component of the reception path, it is clear that the task of the receiver is just the inverse to that of transmitter, right? The signal from the channel is received by the demultiplexer and is separated from other signals. The individual signals are demodulated using appropriate demodulation techniques and the original message signal is recovered. The redundant bits from the message are removed using channel decoder. Since the message is encrypted, decryption of the signal removes the security and turns it into simple sequence of bits. Finally, the signal is given to the source decoder to get back the original transmitted message or signal. Now let's have a look at types of wireless communication systems. Today people need mobile phones for many things like talking, internet, multimedia, etc. All these services must be made available to the user on the go. That is, while the user is mobile, with the help of this wireless communication services, we can transfer voice, data, video, images, etc. Wireless communication system are also different services, also provide different services like video conferencing, cellular telephones, paging, TV, radio, etc. Due to need of variety of communication services, different types of wireless communication systems are developed. Some important wireless communication systems are available today are television and radio broadcasting, satellite communication, radar, mobile telephone systems, and global positioning system, infrared communication, wireless LAN, Bluetooth, paging, cordless phones, radio frequency identification. There are many other systems with each being useful for different applications. Wireless communication system can be again classified as simplex, half duplex, and full duplex. Simplex communication is one-way communication. Example is radio broadcast systems, while half duplex is two-way communication, but not simultaneous one. An example is walkie-talkie. Full duplex is also two-way communication and it is simultaneous one. Best example for full duplex is mobile phone. The device used for wireless communication may vary from one service to another and they may have different size, shape, data to output and cost. The area covered by wireless communication system is also an important factor. The wireless network may be limited to a building, an office, campus, a city, a small regional area, or might have global coverage. We will see a brief note about some of the important wireless communication systems. Television and radio broadcasting. Radio is considered to be a first wireless service. It is an example of simplex communication system. where the information is transmitted only in one direction and all the user receiving the same data. Satellite communication. Satellite communication system is an important type of wireless communication. Satellite communication networks provide wireless worldwide coverage independent to population density. Satellite communication systems offer telecommunication, positioning and navigation, broadcasting, internet, etc. Other wireless services like mobile television broadcasting and other radio systems are dependent of satellite communication systems. Mobile telephone communication system. Perhaps the most commonly used wireless communication system is the mobile phone technology. The development of mobile cellular device changed the world like no other technology. Today's mobile phone are not limited to just making call, but are integrated with numerous other features like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, GPS, and FM radio. Global positioning system. GPS is solely a subcategory of satellite communication. GPS provide different wireless services like navigation, positioning, location, speed, etc. with the help of dedicated GPS receivers and satellites. Bluetooth. Bluetooth is another important low-range wireless communication system. It provides data, voice, and audio transmission with transmission range of 10 meters. Almost all mobile phone, tablets, and laptops are equipped with Bluetooth devices. They can be connected to wireless Bluetooth receiver, audio equipment, cameras, etc. Paging. Although it is considered an obsolete technology, paging was a major success before the widespread use of mobile phones. Paging provides information in the form of messages, and it is a simplex system, that is, the user can only receive the messages. Next is wireless local area network, which we can call it as wireless LAN. Wireless LAN Wi-Fi is an internet-related wireless service. Using wireless LAN, different devices like laptops and mobile phones can connect to an access points and access internet. Infrared communication. Infrared communication is another commonly used wireless communication in our daily lives. It uses infrared waves of the electromagnetic spectrum. Infrared communication is used in remote control of television, cars, audio equipment, etc. Wireless system and range comparison. So here typical frequencies of wireless applications are given. So on the left side, you will see the applications like FM radio, TV broadcast, GSM phone, GPS, PCS phones, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. While on right side, the frequencies are mentioned. For FM radio, it is 88 megahertz. For GSM phone, it is 900 megahertz. For PCS phone, it is 1.9 gigahertz. And for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, it is 2.4 gigahertz. Let's have a look at the range comparison of wireless systems. So range of Bluetooth is dependent on its class, and there are basically three classes of Bluetooth. Class 1 transmitting at 100 milliwatt with the range of 100 meters or 328 feet. Class 2 transmitting at 2.5 milliwatt with range of 10 meters or 33 feet. Most Bluetooth handset and headphones are common Class 2 devices. Class 3 transmitting at 1 milliwatt with a range of less than 10 meters. The range of Residential Wi-Fi networks depends on wireless access point or wireless routers. Its antenna sensitivity as well as exact 802.11 standard being used. A general rule of thumb in home networking says that 802.11 wireless access point and router support a range of up to 150 feet, which comes out to be 46 meters for indoor applications, and 300 feet, which comes out to be 92 meters for outdoor applications. Mobile telephony have low power transceivers that transmit voice and data to the nearest cell sites, normally not more than 8 to 13 kilometers, approximately 5 to 8 miles, while wireless digital FM transmitter range will be 14 kilometers and more. For medium wave frequencies, it is a part of medium frequencies radio band used mainly for AM radio broadcasting. Medium wave and short wave propagation in the night allows strong signal within the range of about 2000 kilometers. So here, radio propagation, radio broadcasting is performed from FM to shortwave. Satellite link have range from 2K to 20K, 36K, depends upon the type of satellite used for communication. So this range may vary and it goes uh, like 36,000 kilometers. So here shown the different mobile devices. So development of different mobile devices from left side moving towards the right side, you will see there is a increase in performance of mobile devices and revolution happened in the mobile devices. So finally, we'll see the different wireless communications that we have discussed. They are paging and messaging, cordless telephone system, wireless local loop, which we can call it as WLL, wireless PAN, personal access network, then wireless LAN, local access network, Bluetooth, cellular phones, television remote controls, security systems, Wi-Fi, wireless keyboards, remote access to medical records. So these are the few wireless communication applications. There are many more applications which we can come across in day-to-day life examples, right? So thank you for this lecture.